bring Saka to the bench?
Shut up.
Well, left back, he was good.
Shut up.
Right, let's go. This is gonna be a fun one, I can tell.
Hello and welcome to the Fixing Football podcast, and we are back eventually. There wasn't an episode in the middle, a preview episode, but we are going to do a review episode of England versus Slovakia. I am with Liam O'Meara and Luke Foley. Luke, how are you? Recovered from winning the Bolton Ironman yesterday?
Oh yeah, I'm all recovered, yeah. I'm great, thanks Martin.
Easy work. Liam, how did you do in Ironman?
I didn't do particularly well. I didn't enter it, and I didn't leave the house because the traffic really affects how I'm able to get to places. So it restricted me even more to my house that I never leave. So not good.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for asking how I am. I'm great as well, thanks. I had a fun weekend. Liam, let's just get started on it. One of the greatest England moments of recent history, that Jude Bellingham goal. I'll let you start. Just give us your take on the match and then that moment.
The match was obviously very difficult. And the more it went on, the more I started to sort of think about international football in general, because whilst England aren't playing well, all I'm hearing is other teams aren't playing well either. And it started making me think about international football in general. And because of the quality of strategic play that we now see in the Premier League by almost every team, managers aren't able to do that in international football. So has our expectation of what teams are able to deliver in international football been warped by what's been created in club football? And when we say things are terrible, are they just what they've always been because it's actually quite hard to do patterns of play and things like that?
I thought this about players like John Stones, who's been winding me up, that you obviously don't get the same, it's a different system, but I think it about Phil Foden as well, because he plays in a different system, and Man City Walker, Stones and Foden particularly, because Man City are so good, and you feel like we've got enough of a core that they would, I don't know, be able to influence everything more, but I don't know. I get your point though. I do think
it's all I could really think about. It's all I could really like. It's been really bugging me because I've thought the same when I've watched France as well.
Yeah,
they just look sort of incoherent and really struggling, but at the same time, keep winning games because they've got brilliant players, which is what we are doing now. And yeah, so I think we'll be okay. What do you reckon, Martin?
Yeah, I said it a few times, like off air, but I feel like we are just going to limp through to the final. There's going to be more matches like what we had today. Well, at least two more. It's looking like, it's Switzerland and then probably the Netherlands. But I wouldn't put it past Austria to get there either. So I'm not. I do think we'll limp through to the final, and I agree with your point that it's like we're getting different versions of all these players, and it's as frustrating as it is to hear that sort of commentary. I think that's the point that people need to get. Luke, do you agree with that?
Link, you just run past me that comment again. So you're blaming international football is shit, and that's why we're playing shit.
I think that's not really what I was saying, but a little bit. I think we have a high expectation of what these players can deliver when they're outside of their systems that they're normally within.
Yeah, we're so used to the pace of the Premier League. Premier League is so fast, and we're so used to that and accustomed to it. And when you see all these players, these familiar faces, stuff doesn't work out the same.
So you're both telling me that these players can't play in a system that Gareth Southgate wants to play? They're clueless, running around like headless chickens. They have no idea.
No, I don't think they can. I don't think they can reach levels that we see in club football, where an elite manager, let's say Erik ten Hag, can put a system together like he did at Ajax maybe, and is able to get more out of some of his parts. I don't know if he's done it at other clubs, but I remember him doing it quite well there. You're not able to replicate that in international football because you don't have the time. So these players don't reach the same levels as they would do, but they are still capable of moments of brilliance, which is what we see, I think, across the whole tournament, not just England. So you're sat there thinking, why is Foden not doing what he's doing at his club? It's because he doesn't know where to stand internationally. Like, the patterns of play are completely different, and I don't think there's any real way around that.
Honestly, this is the most nonsense I've ever heard you say ever.
That's a tall mountain to. It's a tall statement. Do you not agree? Do you not agree with that international football is different?
Yes,
Because I literally had this exact same thought. Probably not as in depth as this version of Liam, but I just thought that we are just seeing a different version of these players, especially like the City lot.
I agree that it's not going to be the standard of a Premier League match, but it can't be that standard last night. That was horrible to watch. It was just it looked like I can't. For players that are top level, they can't be playing like that. No way against a lesser team. And I know they kind of dug their heels in when they got the goal, and it was probably hard to break down. But we had 2 shots on target in the 9th, and the second shot was Bellingham's goal.
So what should they be doing? Where's the change here? Don't just say personnel like, oh, we need Gordon on the wing, because that's what everyone's saying. So where's the difference here?
Well, it's got to be Southgate. It's got to be the message what he wants the players to play like. That is the only.
You think he's coaching them to play really slow from the back?
I think he's coaching them to, well, play deep and get a chat, and just capitalize on a chance. It's a bit, honestly, it's a bit like watching United, where everyone's just playing their own kind of deep line, and then we'll hanging our hat on some player to produce some magic. That's what it feels like we're doing.
This is what Liam's saying. This is what he thinks international football is more like. It's based on moments rather than having some sort of like the great Spain team or the Brazil team, that the teams that were together for. No, the great Spain teams, not this Spain. I did watch Spain. Yeah.
Was that a team that don't know how to play together?
Less so.
I'm gonna challenge that, Luke. I think that's a team that knows where their strengths are. I won't say they're dominating the ball. They've essentially got very good wingers.
They weren't dominating the ball.
Not in the way that things. They surrendered quite a lot of possession the first half to Georgia, I would say, Luke.
It wasn't Liam. The first 20 minutes, Georgia didn't go into the Spain half.
But would you not say England dominated the ball yesterday? Because you just said they didn't a minute ago.
No, I didn't.
Well, they did, so it's fine. But anyway, they did. The point is, because Spain have those 2 direct wingers,
okay,
it chooses the way that you play. It's like the old Harry Redknapp. We don't need tactics. We need players that do things, and that is the tactic. That was how he built his teams for years. And Spain is a little bit like that, where you've got Nico Williams and Yamal, and it's already decided. Like, because Morata is going to be Morata, isn't he, as well? So it almost does itself, that team, theoretically. And the problem England have got...
So our team can't do that. If you name the players in our team, you can't go, right, that's how we're going to play with them players.
I think it's harder because of the Foden-Bellingham dynamic. I think that's what makes it hard. And I think if you drop one of them, half the country goes up in arms. You drop the other half of the country goes up in arms. So essentially you're almost getting a Lampard-Gerrard dynamic of having to try and shoehorn both of them in the same team. We're not quite at Scholes at left midfield yet, but I think that is what's causing the issues. I think Spain are quite lucky that their 2 players play on opposite wings, whereas ours seem to want the ball in the same area. I think the only solution is to play 4-4-2, where everyone knows what the job is. But that includes dropping Foden, which I don't think Southgate is prepared to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. I don't really know what to say anymore. It's gone. Look, what I was saying is the great teams before were built over years and years of playing together, or like the Spain teams were probably had 3 players from outside of La Liga, and then them rest of players were from either Barcelona or Real Madrid. So you had 20 odd people who were tight and had their own systems and had their own chemistry, that it's hard to build.
I just don't. I think you're using France as an example, and I think
I'm not
all the
saying
other.
France.
No, Liam used France. He said, "Oh, we just watched France." Yes, they only just won at 1-0 against Belgium, who haven't played great all tournament. But are you saying that the other top teams, like your Portugals and that, have not played well as well? No one's played. If you're classing all the top ranked teams, no one other top ranked team has played like England.
No.
How bad they played.
Listen, I'm not saying we've played well. I'm not trying to frame it. I'm just trying to understand why it's so bad.
But you can't blame international football. That can't be the excuse.
It's not. I'm not blaming that. You're not.
It's blaming lack of chemistry between the players.
Lack of chemistry.
That's
I thought
basically
it was
what it
built
is.
on this team. I thought the team was based on this Southgate chemistry.
No, I don't think that's true with this. This is quite a different team than last World Cup. Is it some like 13 different players than the World Cup squad a year and a half ago? So it's the squad's completely different. He's made some big calls. Yeah. Yeah, there's some real regulars.
The span of the team is different, is it?
Yeah. The span of the team is different. Well, there's no Maguire, no Calvin Phillips.
Pickford, Rice, Harry Kane.
Right, so you pick 3 of the 5 of a spine there. Yeah,
so defence, as we agreed, was the kind of concern for England.
So what is it? The spine or the defence? You're all over the shop here. The point is,
you just said it was a different squad. It's not.
It is. 13 of the 26 are different players. That's half the squad being different.
Okay, I disagree with you.
What with that number? You disagree with
the
statistical fact.
I think you've made it up. I think the first 11, apart from the defence.
Right, so half the team straight away. Right, so the first 11, who would have started in net last time? So Pickford, right? At the right back.
Go on.
We played 5 at the back last time, didn't we?
Walker.
So it'd have been Walker, it'd been Reece James. It would have been, I am naming it. So right wing back, it was Reece James, if I remember rightly.
It was Walker.
At right centre back, it was Walker, Maguire, and I think at left centre back, who was it? Dyer? No, it weren't Dyer. Who were it?
Which tournament you talking about?
The World Cup. 18 months ago. Reece James played, didn't he, in that?
No.
I don't know if Reece James went,
No,
might have been Trent Alexander-Arnold.
You're making something up, Liam. I told you are.
13 of the squad's different.
Who did we go out to? Who did we go out to in
France?
England v France.
Because Kyle Walker.
We're going to have to look this up now. So keep talking amongst yourselves. We're not having dead air, so keep talking.
So we can't have dead air. Salute. Whilst we've got a minute, Man United.
No, I said not dead air. Right. I'm going to read through the squad just to settle the argument here of the England v France game from the 2020 World Cup when we went out. Pickford in net, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw across the back, Henderson, Rice, Bellingham, Saka, Kane and Foden. A bench. So hold on, there's already Maguire and Henderson missing from that team.
Yep, loads. Over 20% of the team.
On the bench, Maddison,
Nope.
Cody,
Nope.
Trippier, Rashford,
Nope.
Sterling,
Nope.
Dyer,
Nope.
Mount.
What? Why naming the bench?
Phillips.
Nope.
Because Luke,
I said 11.
Liam said squad. No, Liam said we said squad at first. Well, 13 can't be missing from 11, can they?
Yeah,
otherwise, we'd be minus 2 players on the pitch.
Yeah, but the players, the squad.
No, Luke, stop. Hold on, stop. You're sounding silly because you're going around in circles trying to say this and that. No, Liam said this. This is the squad. Liam was right because there was 13 of this whole squad. So you've all got a squad to play with.
Have we played the squad?
Phillips.
Oh my God.
And we know how much that one matters as well.
Callum Wilson.
Nope.
Jack Grealish.
Nope. Are you joking? Are you seriously joking with this?
Nick
I
Pope.
can't believe you're doing this.
No.
Trent, Gallagher, Ramsdale. They're all in.
Oh, so right. I'd be surprised if anyone knows anyone there, to be honest.
Listen, Luke, the point is, right? That we just wasted a load of time because Liam said 13 members were missing, and you said he made it up.
No, I said the 11. If you
Liam
Then
did
you said the
research.
11.
Liam did research, and
what I said, what was the starting 11? And then you went, this is the start 11, and you went, Reece James playing right back. I said no. Out of the starting 11, all of the back four is different, and that's what I said.
do you know what's annoying,
Did I not
Luke?
say that?
On a serious note, do you know what's annoying? It mentioned this stat during the game.
Yeah, and that's it. Like I said, the back four is different. The rest of it's basically the same. So it can't be this international football.
All right, so let's go back to the original point here that you was making. Southgate is anti-football in this team into almost a complete halt, because none of us will disagree on the fact that it's been poor and it's been hard to watch. No one thinks England's played well, which we can all agree on that. But but Liam is blaming this more on a lack of cohesion on the pitch and the international football scene, and you're blaming our manager for holding everyone back.
Yes. Would you not agree with that? Who would you agree with most?
I'm 60-40 in favour of Liam.
You little.
I think, Luke, I get what you're saying, and it is
I
poor.
can't believe this.
It's really poor, and I think one thing we'll move on to next, mine. I'm keen to know what you think about this, because I know what Luke thought, because I could hear the distress in his WhatsApps about it. But why no substitutions? What was going on there, mine?
I think that's been poor. Well, I'm not even. I think Luke thinks that I'm sticking up for Southgate here. I'm not. I don't think he's.
Sounds like you are.
I'm not. I'm just looking at the reality of it, and you're going for the easy target. The easy target is blame the goofy idiot on the side of the pitch. Is that? No, it's not.
I do think it's an easy target. I do think I actually do agree, because one thing I don't think is that he's setting them up to be this defensive. I do think there is something in this idea of the weight of the shirt and expectations and fear factor. I think there is something in that with England. It can't be a coincidence that these so many different variants of these great England teams all seem to have legs like lead when it comes to knockout games. Was it a stat yesterday that Southgate's now won more knockout games than all the managers before him after the World Cup? Like, in that 40 years before him, he's now won as many knockout games as England managers, all them combined.
I didn't hear it, but it sounds like it could be true.
Well, Liam said it could be false also, but there we go. Just take what Liam says as facts as usual.
No, I just proved it last time, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this time.
Thank you, man.
Your question about the substitutions, I think they have been poor and too late. Everyone's crying out for getting Palmer on. I think he's done that too late every time he's come on. Even himself admitted about putting Tony on in the 95th minute. That
was nuts.
Tony's going to be disgusted with me. Like, yeah. But, to be fair to him, he come on and...
It kind of worked, in a weird way.
Yeah. It's just one of the things, a horrendous decision either side, and then it works. So, I don't know. I don't understand the substitutions. I think he's been very reactive and not being on the front foot, and I think that's what pissing England fans off the most. Would you agree with that, Luke? Regardless of his starting 11, how many disagree and agree with that, there's millions of people who can see things aren't working at a certain time.
Yeah, is that? Well, yeah, I agree.
I'm saying, do you think he's being too reactive and not proactive? That's causing a lot of frustration.
I don't think he's doing anything. I really don't think he's doing anything. I think he's panicking in the 60-minute, thinking, "Shit, I've got to put fucking Palmer on because that's what the country's saying," and then he's last-ditch hope stick Tony on. I don't think the guy knows anything. Everyone was saying at halftime things need to change, and he decided to change it. What was it, 60-odd minutes?
Didn't really change it. I try to understand. If something happens that I don't agree with, I try and understand why that person's doing it. And I was really like a lot of people, completely confused as to why he refused to change it. And the only thing I could think of as a reason, and as a team talk maybe at half time, is the fact that those players who are probably the best 11, most would probably say on paper, like, I know they're not playing like it, but they are probably the best 11 that you'd pick before a tournament. They'd kind of made the mess, and it was on them to fix it. But I don't think it really played out that way. I don't think... Obviously, Southgate isn't connected to Twitter and WhatsApp groups, and he doesn't necessarily see that the country sees it differently. But he probably said to players like Bellingham, this is what you'll be remembered for here. Like, this is Jack Wilshere against Iceland. You're going to be remembered for this if you don't turn it round. Like, and it's on you to swap it. I can only think of that as being his reason for not doing it.
Maybe. I mean, if that is his only reason, I think it's so stupid. There's no reasoning in it whatsoever.
I can't think of another.
So,
yeah.
So you're saying now he's
There you go. Classic Luke. Here's what you've just said. Repeating.
Yep. He does making nonsense up. You're saying now he said gone to Bellingham. England's hope. You're the England's hope. You can only save England. You are the only one. So I'm not changing. Bellingham.
That isn't like, you're not even paraphrasing it. You just made something up. Just made something up. Although, by the way, I believe that. Although, about Bellingham, he is the only hope. When Bellingham scores that goal, runs off, and he says, "Who else?" He's fucking right. Like, no one else tries that. By the way, in the 94th minute, imagine you scarred it over. Like, think of the abuse that you get. Doesn't matter to him. He's the man. So he's right, and that should be Southgate's team talk. It should be pass to Jude. You're all hopeless. Pass to Jude.
Gotta love that. Right. Luke, do you want to finish your point there? Are we done with the rediscovering what me and Liam have just said?
No, I'm done.
You done with the whole episode, or just with that point? Right. I want you to tell us about your reaction when Bellingham scored an overhead kick in the 95th minute. Is that one of the best England moments you've ever seen?
No.
No? Okay.
Not at all.
He's done here. He's done.
Yeah.
Look, you're allowed to say something on the podcast, by the way. You know, just repeat what we've in your head said.
One word answers is perfectly fine for an audio podcast. One word, long pause, one word.
Okay, well, what you said, Liam, doesn't make any sense, each point you've made. So I'll just say yes and no. My
England moment, Martin. So my England moment was up there. It was up there. But you had Daniel Sturridge against Wales, which for me was better than that. But it's the only one. And I know the Beckham free kick against Greece, but you know, that was before I was drinking beer. So I think the Sturridge one against Wales, because it was Wales, just pips it. And because there was still some bitterness to this one as well. Like, you're still like, you fuckers. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you've just got off 10-0 up here, you fucker.
Yeah, you've got off the hook a little bit, but it was still brilliant. It was a good moment. What do you think, Martin?
Yeah, I think it's number one.
Really? Number one?
In front of Beckham, yeah.
In front of Beckham?
Overhead kick, 95th minute, to send it into extra time and then to go on and win. And plus, like, you've got all this pressure as, like, the star boy, the main man, all this pressure of coming into England as the hottest player in the world. I just think it's unbelievable. So good. Very lucky to have him.
Could be banned the next game.
I think he's going to be all right.
Ronaldo did something similar, didn't he, a few years back?
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right. I like his excuse that he was talking to some friends.
It's a private joke with my friends. Yeah, all right.
They were just sat in the middle of 20,000 Slovakians.
What do you think, Luke? Is he the main man, Jude?
Yes.
Just wait there. Just leave it. Let it settle. Right, cool. Next point. Liam, who's been your player of the tournament so far? Who've you had your eye on? Who's think? I'll give you mine first, and I'll see if you agree
Yeah,
on
good,
that.
because I wasn't ready for that question at all. Go on.
So watching Spain the other night. Was it last night? It was after us, yeah. Nico Williams thought is unbelievable, and I haven't seen much of him. I knew of him. I knew there's a big price tag on his head at the moment.
Bit bigger now.
Yeah. So I haven't seen a lot of him. Is he at Bilbao as well?
Yes, Athletic Club. He's still there, yeah. 21, is he now?
Yeah. His brother is Inaki Williams, isn't it? Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a proper player. Just his touch, everything about him, is class. Yeah. And he's really surprised me. So he would be mine so far. I know they've gone out now, but the Georgian lad whose name is unpronounceable.
Varshakelia. But he was mine.
He was so good. That Georgian team, I think they'd have absolutely battered us, by the way. They're just so quick, so much pressure on the ball. I think they'd have really done a number. Yep.
As well. The Georgian goalkeeper. Very unlucky to go out.
Yes.
Finching anything else caught the eye?
Musiala.
Yeah, Musiala. Good shout, Luke.
Yeah, good shout. He stepped up as well. Because, again, very similar to Bellingham, probably a lot of pressure on him. Become Bayern's main man over the last sort of 18 months and then sort of doing the business for Germany as well.
I've got one more, I think. Granit Xhaka as well.
Class.
Yeah,
everyone will agree. Everyone will agree at the class of Granit Xhaka now. Just man of the match performance after man of the match performance, just dominating games. It's nice for people to stand up and start seeing it now.
Yeah, it's nice when he's away from a fan base booing him every week. What he's been able to achieve in his career.
Yeah, I think that'd be it so far. So we've had our say on England.
Have we though? Can you?
No, me and Liam have had our say. You've just mumbled and disagreed and not said. You can have your say. I really would like it.
Luke, are you just angry? Is that what it is? Are you just an angry man?
Well, I was very angry last night, and then today I've gone past anger. I've just got to the point where what will be now. I don't think Southgate's gonna not change. I think he's too stubborn to do anything. So we might scream at the screams asking for all these changes, and we might think it's how we think England should play it, but it's not going to happen. He's going to play the same team with Kobe starting, and I think we'll possibly limp through the next game, and then we'll get tanked in the final. That's how I see what's going to happen.
Okay.
So we can. It sounds like the whole country is in agreement that things need to change, but we've had 4 chances now, and it's still the same. So I think we're just gonna have to buckle up and.
But what is so laying the blame at Southgate? What is the message then that you believe is coming from Southgate to the players that is affecting it so much and stopping seeing the players that you see week in, week out doing what they do?
It must be a defensive message. It must be we need to keep the ball and play low block and hope for this a Kane chance, or I don't know. I can't picture what.
Why would he say that?
I don't know. That's the thing. If you can explain to the tactic to me, any of you two, please do so.
I don't think that's the message at all. I think.
So what's the message?
I think Kane's playing poor, which isn't helping. The ball's not sticking with Kane to allow the midfield to get up. I think that's really causing havoc. I think Kane is really playing poorly, and I think that's really, really threatening any chance of England getting up the pitch. I think when England have been good before, the ball has stuck with Kane, and he's been able to then bring Saka and Foden into the game, and then Bellingham can arrive late, and I think that kind of works. But if the ball doesn't stick, none of it works. So I think Kane is being a real problem for him.
But what's the message? What do you think he's saying? What do you think his tactic is?
You know what? I don't know if there is very much of a tactic at all. I have to do agree with Liam about the Harry Redknapp situation where you've got the best players in them positions, just go for it. And there might be little patterns of play that they try and work on, but there's very little they can work on in two weeks at a time. I mean, they can't build anything from there. You've just got to hope that you've got, one of the best centre midfielders in the world, one of the best strikers in the world, these two great number 10s, and everything else, all the other praise that England players get.
It'll be all relatively limited, I think. So it'll be like, they'll look at the opposition and go, where's the weak link? Does he not like the ball on his left foot? Then we do the press then. It won't be extensive set pieces during the ball, like De Bruyne picks the ball up and then Foden knows where to go, and then you get Haaland starts going on. There'll be none of that. They don't have the time to do that. What you'll have is like what the opposition does and how do we react to that. It's much more than that.
I think so. I think it leans more on that. I just think where he is to blame for is the things like substitutions and switching it when it's clearly not working. I think he's been slow and really poor at that. But the tactics going in, I can't see there being a great deal of it.
Can I just disagree?
Yeah, of course.
I disagree because what's the point of friendlies and his matches beforehand? Surely he has a system he has in his mind, or he wants to play in the tournament, and he's telling it every time they meet up, this is the system we're going to play. Or surely he's not just getting the best 11 players and going, all right, boys, crack on.
Here's a question, Luke. Which team would you say has dominated international football the last 5-6 years?
France.
What's their system?
Well, clearly he doesn't put all the best players in because he's leaving out Real Madrid stars. He's got Rabiot in there, but from his system. But that's a bad. I know what he did there, Liam. It's because France has been playing shit this tournament. That's why
they play shit every tournament.
They play shit every tournament.
Yeah, this is Deschamps football. It's international football. He creates a defensive structure and that allows basically to Mbappe doesn't have to defend. You watch Mbappe and he concedes the ball, he literally just walks back into space. He's whichever defender goes up, he walks into that space. Everyone else is there to get the ball to him, if possible. It's all very basic, is my point, Luke. Like he's in terms of what is he trying to do, the answer is not lose, basically. And then hope that a moment of genius wins the game because he's got the players to do that. Is what I think Southgate's trying to do. Can he say that? No, because your Jason Cundy types will talk about why don't we do what Liverpool do and like all this kind of stuff. Because when it's international football, everyone sort of takes everything up like 4 or 5 notches, and if an England manager fails, he's a FA yes man, or all these kind of stuff that we've repeated over the years and years and years and years. But essentially, when we look at the teams that have dominated international football, they have been defensive teams. Almost exclusively.
Brazil?
When in our lifetime have Brazil dominated?
In our lifetime? Have Brazil not won in a lifetime?
They've won, but would you say they've dominated?
Are you saying teams don't dominate? Are you saying all successful international teams have won have been played defensively?
I'd say aside from Spain, but Martin's right, it was essentially La Masia that won that World Cup. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not from Spain.
Yeah.
I disagree there.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
Because you've just took out the main, in our lifetime, the best international team and gone, apart from Spain, yeah. But Spain are not defensive, are they? You can't just go, oh, forget Spain. Oh, we won't count Spain.
I argue.
Dominated.
Well, depends what depends where you consider Pep's tactics, because I consider them defensive. Like, you're essentially controlling the ball for 80 minutes, you're eliminating all risk. Anytime you lose the ball, you commit a foul. I think it's the ultimate defensive, personally. But I'm taking those out. I'm letting you have those as attacking. Even though I don't believe that, but I'll die on that hill another time because this is getting boring. But yeah, I think most teams international are defensive. I don't think this is a revelation. I think most people would think this.
So what happened in the World Cup final? What score was it? Was Argentina defensive?
I bet they wish they were.
Oh, well,
because they were 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go, weren't they?
I don't think Argentina was defensive in the World Cup.
I think they were. Other than the finals are a one-off game, but in the World Cup they generally were.
All right, so the score says otherwise.
Of the final, I said the finals are one-off game, but in the general World Cup that was built on a 4, and then the Enzo Fernandez and the other guy who was next to Enzo in the World Cup.
What's he called? De Paul.
Oh yeah, absolute thunder bastard of a cunt. Him, just running around battering people.
Absolute destroyer, defensive midfielder.
Yeah, it was built on that 6. And then you've got
Rabiot,
the greatest player of all time up front.
Rabiot and Kante.
Yeah,
Rabiot and Kante.
There's 2 defensive mids playing for France that are currently in. Yes, and that's why they're winning 1-0 in this tournament. Why using France?
Because they're the other good team in this tournament.
Hold on, it's getting silly now, right? What we said before, we all agree it's not great, Luke. But you're blaming us like we hold Southgate as a world class manager. We're not. We're saying he's poor. I'm putting a bit more blame on the players than what you are. I think you're putting just because these players are great at club level doesn't mean that they're playing well now, and Southgate's just nullifying them somehow. I don't think that's the case. I just think players are playing poorly. I think our back line, other than Gahey, are playing awful, and that they're the reason why everything is so slow. And there's gaps not being found in front of them. Rice and Bellingham are dropping way too deep. It's almost like a flat 6 at times. So then you've got, at times, Gallagher stood up next to Kane. Saka's staying really out wide on his own, and Foden's going right, left. It feels like there's so much room on the pitch when we've got the ball in a defensive position, or like if we've got it just from the goalkeeper.
Who's in charge to change that?
Okay, of course, but these are international. These are Champions League winners. These are Premier League winners. We're talking about world class footballers. They should be able to work some of this stuff out as well. And I've said this is what I said. What are you trying to? What point are you trying to make here? That say I'm not saying Southgate's doing well. We're just trying to find a reason why it's not working out, and he isn't the whole reason why it's not working out. You can't seriously think that.
I agree that the players should step up. Yes, completely. But the buck falls on Southgate. He's the manager.
Yes, he'll be the one who gets sacked. All these players will play for England again, and he'll be the one who gets sacked.
Yeah.
And he won, by the way.
Yeah. Let's not forget this. So let's not be too. I've tried to be positive again here. I've tried 3 times to get back to positive, and we've gone back to this. So, Luke, just one more. Let's have a positive thought on England going out of this podcast.
Positive thought. Well, we're in the next stage of the knockout. As I said in the last game, we've qualified. That's the only positive. There isn't much positives, is there? In all honesty, there isn't. We've qualified for the next round.
4th tournament in a row. We're in the quarterfinals.
Liam, what are the positives for you then?
I think defensively look really good.
I think defensively look really bad. I've got to disagree.
Really bad defensively.
Sorry, I'm just going to put that out there. You tell me why you think we've been good.
I think.
I said other than Gahey. Let me tell you why. Because why I think we're power. I don't think we need Kyle Walker in the team.
I think he's terrible. He's played last game was terrible for Walker.
I don't think John Stones is. I think John Stones is playing so bad, and I wish I didn't like him as a person off the pitch because he's playing like horrendously on it. He's so and like when was he just not even looking when we took that short free kick?
Yeah,
and he's just not even looking. Like he's just fucking daydreaming. What is he doing? Like he's not a knockout of a. It's like it's the second half of a knockout match in an international tournament. What is he doing? Trippier. I mean, he's tried, but nothing's working out on that left hand side. So I really think that we'd have been a lot better with Trippier and Trent as our fullbacks in either order that you want to put them at. I don't think we need Walker. We're not defend unless we play France and we need someone to defend Mbappe. We don't need Walker in the team for me.
It's not a dig, but I really do wish we had Ben White because he'd be starting now.
100%.
Go on,
Yeah.
so Liam,
At centre back or right back.
Yeah.
Liam, go on. You said what's your positive? You said defence. So why is defence positive? Because the clean sheets
Yeah,
we've had.
that and also Pickford has been very, very good.
Yeah, I mean the fact of it is right. I mean, if someone was looking at it from the outside, that defensively we're solid is because we're not conceding many goals. I get it, but I just disagree. I think our build up starts from the back so much, and we're so slow coming out. That's why I think we're playing poorly from it.
I don't think the midfield two is helping with that. Rice has been poor, I think, in terms of receiving the ball. But also, I think Manu started well, but then sort of drifted in the game a bit. I'm not digging him out because he's young, and I think he's a very good player. But it's a big stage, and I felt like whilst he started well, I felt like because he was the most lively one, like Slovakia kind of knew how to deal with him after a bit. I think.
Yeah.
Lobotka's a good player, and he seemed to sort of work that out a little bit. I think that made it hard.
Well, I'd say Rice as well. I feel like he has to do a lot. Or I feel like he feels like he has to do a lot. Declan Rice, especially playing with a different partner every match. But I feel like he has to cover a lot of ground, do two different jobs. He's sort of the 8 and supporting the 10, plus that number 6 role that everyone keeps talking about, and with a new partner every time. But there's a lot of weight on him, and he's not doing either one of them roles particularly well. And I think he's suffering from that. Lack of cohesion in there.
Do you know what? We're ending up in a negative here. But do you know what I was thinking during the game yesterday?
I keep trying. Honestly, mate, I keep trying.
What I was thinking about getting up the pitch, a player that we didn't have, and I was sat there thinking he'd make a difference here, was Rashford. I feel like him, he can pull that defence back. And it's all well good screaming for Gordon, but we've got someone with genuine international experience who's not gone. And I feel like I've heard a lot of people clamouring for Grealish, but he doesn't give you anything that we don't already have, I don't think. We've got loads of that type of player, whereas we've not really got another Rashford, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gordon's the Rashford replacement without the experience, and although I would like to see more of him, but yeah. Right, let's wrap England up. It is positive we're through, and we're all smiling on the inside.
What's your positive? You've asked me and Liam, what's your positive?
My positive is that we had greatest ever moment that I've ever seen for England in real life, and we're through. That's my positive. I don't think anyone's standing out particularly well. And you know what one positive is? We got Tony on the pitch, which was good. And we saw Saka at left back for a little bit, and I hope that's put some thoughts on Southgate, that the fact that we can put him there so we can shoehorn Palmer in because he's the world's most important player, while still giving the rusty trombone to Phil Foden every time he touches the ball. God forbid Gary Neville gets upset that Phil Foden's not in the team. So, but if we had to play Saka at left back, if Trippier's not there, I wouldn't be upset.
It's funny, Gary Neville at half time, he was going on about getting Trent Alexander-Arnold in the team, even though he was slagging him off. He was slagging him off not so long ago, saying, "Yeah, it's not worked. We don't really need Trent," and now he's the best right back in the world.
I think it's the opposite. We don't need Trent because we've got Walker. I think has been the point of it, and then trying to get him in midfield. But I think it's been the opposite. We don't need Walker. We need an extra person who can ping a ball, who isn't afraid to ping a ball. I think John Stones has that ability, but he just doesn't do it, and he slows us down. So I'd like to see Trent picking that ball up in the inverted role or that deep role and having some time on the ball. But anyway, those are my positives. Let's wrap that up, and I want to move on to the fans' favourite, our journey of the Euro Predictions League.
Oh my God. You've gone from stressing me out with Liam's international footballs making the England shit to this nonsense now.
Why is it nonsense, Luke? Aren't you right up there?
Challenging, Luke. Could be your year.
You've made a bit of a comeback, you know.
I'm really rooting for you.
I think you've made a comeback from near bottom to all of a sudden at the top, clear 5 points, clear.
I wasn't near the bottom.
You was near the bottom.
I'm really rooting for you, Luke. This could be your year.
You're in with a shout. Let's just for those listening who aren't as up to date with our league table because it's not being posted online. Currently, our friend and Everton fan
not being posted either.
We'll get to that in a minute. Steve and Scott joint, let's call it joint fifth, on 48 points. Liam is on 51. Chris is... Who does Chris support, Liam?
Manchester United.
All right, so Chris is hilariously in third place on 54 points. Luke is on 55, and I'm on 60 points at the top of the league.
Dubious. Dubious 60 points.
Liam, it was made clear at the beginning of the competition. Now, I've ran this competition for 6 tournaments. That is 3 without you two, who claim to have some sort of percentage holding on this competition.
Correct.
But I invented it. Me. Played it 3 times, never won, never even come close. My own game, and I've never even come close. This is how much of the integrity I hold. Now, it gets to the 6th time I ever play it, and now Luke Foley's in the chasing pack. He's questioning my integrity.
I think this was outrageous.
This was made clear that it would be minus 5 points for each violation. I'd like your opinion on that. I mean, the WhatsApp group has been pretty rife with speculation.
I must admit, I was disappointed that my missing points has been punished, yet Luke's has been such a rewarding thing for him. When in the last tournament, Luke was given quite a few chances of late submissions, if I remember rightly. So I must admit, I do feel I've fallen afoul of some double standards in this tournament. And as of that, it's left quite a sour taste on me for all of it, to be completely honest.
Well, explain for those who aren't following. Explain.
Well, Luke has been given extra points when he got 0-0s because he didn't submit anything. Whereas when I did it, there was no points awarded.
It wasn't extra points.
It's not extra points. That's the punishment for not submitting your score on time. Is you get 0-0. 0-0 is the least common scoreline in tournament football. That's a fact.
Unfortunately, we've now got a situation where someone who decided not to enter scores has been rewarded by being
teams
in the chasing
0-0.
pack. And
you did the same though, Liam. There was a match where you didn't put any scores and you got put 0-0.
Well, I put scores, but I was a couple of minutes late, and I was told that you're not allowed.
Rules are rules.
It's all left a sour taste in my mouth, to be completely honest. I wish everyone the best of luck, but I might have to step aside now.
Step aside, you're just going to lose. You can't step aside, you're going to have to owe someone some money.
Well,
can't pull out of the race when you're losing. You just got to finish the race.
Look, it's not been my tournament. As someone who's won it before, I know that you need a little bit of luck to win it. And unfortunately, this year I've not had that luck. So, good luck to the people that have had quite a lot of luck this year that are right there at the top. And we'll see how we get on.
Luke, what are your thoughts now? Can you explain to people why you have made claims of dubious and potential breaches of the integrity violations?
Because the person that's running the said and his said tournament game, whatever you want to call it, is now
He always runs it, by the way.
Who takes the scores of the
Yeah.
two chasers. So now has eyes on what scores the two chasers are doing. So then his influence can say, okay, I can, especially towards the end of the final stages, you can go, actually, I might change it. Or say if me and Chris did take two same scores, you can go, well, I'll do a different score.
Or the same one.
Or the same
to match
one.
it.
If you win, or yeah, so you can win all the way through.
I don't think you'd do that though, man.
I wouldn't, because as I've already stated, all my scores are submitted already. For today, all this whole knockout stage has already been submitted a long time ago. Not changed one.
Submitted to where?
My Excel spreadsheet. That I just don't change. I have the ability to, but I don't. You know why? Because I'll hold integrity the most. Now, look, even shaking your head is borderline integrity violation. Because it's like you don't believe me. And I've run this competition every year. I could swindle you lot out of money every year for this.
Can I ask a question?
You think I've waited 6 years? No, not 6 years. 6 tournaments. That's 12 years to get 120 quid out of you.
Can I ask a question? Luke, do you feel comfortable submitting your scores to mine?
I feel very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think Chris has the same view. Not to chuck Chris under the bus.
Sounds like you're chucking Chris under the bus, speaking for him. But
I think we should give our scores to Liam because clearly he has given up and is not going to win this year. So I think we should both submit our scores to Chris.
Liam's still, if Kylian Mbappe starts scoring, Liam's still in with a chance.
Well, this was another thing. Obviously, I lost my striker for most of the tournament.
One game.
And it really held me back on
one game.
So, yeah, it's really not gone my way this year.
One game. Luke, any other thoughts going in? Because the format of the tournament can't change now. Can't trust Liam.
Are you going to chuck some crazy rules out towards the final games like you usually do?
Well, we usually have done. That's my only point on this. Can you elaborate on what these crazy rules are? Because this isn't a fucking phone call. This is a podcast that goes out to the public.
Has he changed the rules this year, Martin, Luke? Is that what's happened?
I haven't changed the rules. What I usually do is go double points semis, triple points final. I usually do that. Done it every time. Keeps it interesting. But Luke has decided that he doesn't want this. Now he's found himself in the chasing pack. He's saying that this is going to be a rule change.
It was voted on, and the vote was saying we do not want this.
Fine. I'm fine. I say I usually do it, but I'm not. You voted on it.
Works best for Martin, really. Because there's quite a big gap now, Luke, as well.
There's quite a big gap to me.
Well, yeah, but all that matters is winning.
No points for second place, Luke.
Yeah, exactly. Just you're the same as me, really.
Do what you need to do.
Honestly, Luke, stop shrugging and shaking your head, mate. You need to speak.
I'm still shocked at fucking Liam's revelation that all European football or international football is run by defensive teams.
That was 50 minutes ago.
I'm getting tired now.
And then he's claimed that Reece James was playing in the last tournament.
No, Reece James never played for England. He's barely played for Chelsea, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't play football anymore. Right, let's leave it there. Thank you everyone for listening. You can catch... I don't know why you would bother, but if you want to go and listen to any previous episodes or any future ones, feel free. It's on the internet somewhere. www.fixingfootballpodcast.com. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye everyone.
Bye-bye.